It's time for the podcast. Yeah, the podcast is starting.
What's a podcast?
It's all gonna be alright in the end. It's gonna be alright. And if you've got some worries, my dear little friends, please rest your busy minds, because it's finally time for stories from now and then.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stories from Now and Then. My name is Captain Blunderface, and I'm taking a snack break here in the old library where we... Yes, Deprecatus? Just 1 second, I'm doing the intro here. Sorry, wait, you want a junior chicken after this? I mean, I could crush like 3 of those, but unfortunately you need to stick to regular cat food. Fine. Tell you what, we'll write to the cat food company after this to see if they can make that their next flavor. Is that okay? Okay, sweet compromise. Well, before we set the table for today's story, we have a shout out for Emerson in Lucan, Ontario. Emerson loves marble runs, and we hear Santa may have also heard about that this Christmas. Emerson, this story is for you. Oh, looks like I just got a message from our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by Guest Getter. They help restaurants bring in guests and keep them coming back, which is great because I personally forget where I like to eat unless someone reminds me. Guest Getter helps restaurants do that, but on purpose. Check them out at guestgetter.co. And with that, it is now story time. Nicola, we'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, Captain. This next story is about a feast. Have you ever had a feast? A feast is a lovely big meal with lots of food and drinks and all good things. The 2 people in this story having this feast have very funny names. One is called the Barmecide, and the other is called Schacabac. Let's see what happens when they eat together. The Holiday Feast. Once upon a time, there was a rich old man who was called the Barmecide. He lived in a beautiful palace in the midst of flowery gardens. He had everything that a heart could wish for. In the same land, there was a poor man whose name was Schacabac. His clothing was rags, and his food was the scraps which other people had thrown away. But he had a light heart and was as happy as a king. Once, when Schacabac had not had anything to eat for a long time, he thought that he would go and ask the Barmecide to help him. The servant at the door said, "Come in and talk with our master. He will not send you away hungry." Schacabac went in and walked through many beautiful rooms, looking for the Barmecide. At last he came to a grand hall where there were soft carpets on the floor and beautiful pictures on the walls and comfortable couches to lie down upon. At the far end of the room he saw a noble man with a long white beard. It was the Barmecide. And poor scruffy Schacabac bowed low before him, as was polite in that time. The Barmecide spoke very kindly and asked what Schacabac wanted. Schacabac told him about all his troubles and said that it was now 2 days since he had had anything to eat. "Is that possible?" said the Barmecide. "You must be starving with hunger, and here I have plenty of food, and more to spare." Then he turned and called, "Servant, bring in the water to wash our hands, and then tell the cook to hurry the supper." Schacabac had not expected to be treated so kindly. He began to thank the rich man. "Do not say a word," said the Barmecide, "but let us get ready for the feast." Then the rich man began to rub his hands together as though someone was pouring water on them. "Come and wash with me," he said. Schacabac saw no servant, nor basin, nor water. But he thought that he ought to do as he was bidden, and so, like the Barmecide, he acted out washing his hands. "Come now," said the Barmecide, "let us have supper." He sat down as though he was at a table and pretended to be carving a roast. Then he said, "Help yourself, my good friend. You said you were hungry, so now don't be afraid of the food." Schacabac saw no table and no food, but he thought that he understood the joke, and so he pretended to be taking food and putting it to his mouth. Then he began to chew and said, "You see, sir, I'm wasting no time." "Servant," said the Barmecide, "bring on the roast goose. Now, my good friend, try this best piece. And here we have sweet sauce, honey, raisins, green peas, and dried figs. Help yourself, and remember that other good things are coming." Schacabac was almost falling over with hunger, but he was too polite not to do as he was bidden. "Come," said the Barmecide, "have another piece of the roast lamb. Did you ever eat anything so delicious?" "Never in my life," said Schacabac. "Your table is full of good things." "Then eat heartily," said the Barmecide. "That will make me happy." After this came the dessert. The Barmecide spoke about sweet treats, cakes, puddings, and fruits, and Schacabac made believe that he was eating them. "Now, is there anything else that you would like?" asked the host. "Ah, no," said poor Schacabac. "I have indeed had great plenty." But the truth was, Schacabac had not eaten a thing. The Barmecide took him by the hand. "I have wished for so long to find a man like you," he said. "But come, now we will eat in earnest." He clapped his hands. Servants came and he ordered supper. Soon they sat down to a real table, loaded with all the very dishes of which they had been pretending to eat. Poor Schacabac had never had such a good meal in all his life. When they had finished and the table had been cleared away, the Barmecide said, "I have found you to be a man of good understanding. You are clever and quick, and you are always ready to make the best of everything. Would you come and live with me and manage my house?" And so Schacabac lived with the Barmecide many years, and never again knew what it was to be hungry. Wasn't it so nice how the two characters became friends? Schacabac could bring such playfulness and happiness. He had no money, but he was very rich in joy. And then the Barmecide was rich in money, but had no one to feast and play with him. It's such a nice reminder that friendship can happen between all different kinds of people, and you can keep a friendship going by sharing laughter and food.
Thank you, Nicola. During that story, we got Deprecatus set up with his favorite wet food, and I think he's going to go on a post-dinner walk patrolling the old library. If you like that story and you'd like a shout-out in a future episode, feel free to find our Instagram page and send us a DM at Stories From Now and Then. We'd love to hear from you. Stories From Now and Then is narrated by Nicola Ward, music by Captain Blunderface, and Captain Blunderface played by Evan Weeb. Well, I guess he's not really played by Evan Weeb. They're sort of like the same guy, and they have the exact same voice. So it's like not really.